Hi everyone, my name is Glanifi Picasso Membrove, and for today's video, I'm going to report about pop art. History of pop art. Pop art is an art movement that emerged in the mid-1950s in Britain and the late 1950s in the United States. Pop art presented a challenge to traditions of fine art by including imagery from popular culture such as advertising and news. Importance of pop art. The pop art movement is important because it made art accessible to the masses, not just to the elite. As the style drew inspiration from commercial figures and cultural moments, the work was recognized and respected among the general public. Pop art artists and their mediums. Pop art artist Andy Warhol's Campbell Soup. Andy Warhol was an American artist and filmmaker who was a leading member of the pop art movement. His work is renowned for its appropriation of popular media, celebrity culture, and advertisements. He produced art in a variety of mediums including painting, screen printing, film, sculpture, and photography. Roy Lichtenstein, comic books and pop art. Roy Lichtenstein was an American artist who was a significant member of the pop art movement. His work is widely recognized for its use of parody through mimicking mass media outputs. Specifically, he is associated with commercial, comic strip style art and his signature use of Ben-Day dots. He received considerable criticism during his career for his satirical comic book pieces but has been posthumously remembered as the revolutionary of 20th century art. Keith Haring's art, street murals and activism. Keith Haring was an American artist associated with the pop art movement and known for his street art. He was strongly influenced by the political climate of New York City in the 1980s. His work reflects this through his use of sexual and often shocking imagery to spur social activism. He addressed several social and political topics at the time, including AIDS, epidemic, and apartheid. David Hockney's paintings, pop art and 20th century modernism. David Hockney is a British artist, photographer, and draftsman who remains one of the most important contributors to the pop art movement. His oeuvre is very eclectic, spanning mediums and movements including cubist painting, photographic collage, advertisement posters, and landscape paintings. It is this variation that has made him enduring influence of 20th century art. During his studies, he interacted with expressionist artist Francis Bacon and was also influenced by the work of Cubism icon Pablo Picasso and leading impressionist Henri Matisse. Richard Hamilton, Genesis of Pop Art. Richard Hamilton was an English collegist and painter who was an early contributor to the pop art movement. His collage work was particularly seminal in the development of pop art, inspired by life's mundanity and the vapidity of mass media production. He mentored several prominent artists during the 1950s, including David Hockney and Peter Blake, cementing his place as a leading contributor to the mid-20th century modernism. Pop art artist Claes Oldenburg, sculpture and everyday objects. Claes Oldenburg is a Swedish-American sculptor who is known for his replicas of commonplace objects. He has cited that his art is notably non-meaningful in nature, which allows viewers to have their own interpretations of it. His earlier work focused on the soft sculpture everyday objects, which developed into more realistic representations. The usability in the present times of pop art. How is pop art used today? Pop art often takes imagery that is currently in use in advertising. Product labeling and logos figure prominently in the imagery chosen by the pop artist. Pop art changed the perception of art and laid the basis of new art revolution, where artists allow their ideas to reality without worrying about any art rules they might have been taught to follow. Is pop art still relevant today? Many contemporary pop artists continue to keep the movement not just alive but thriving. So that's all the basic information about pop art. Thank you for listening.